Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, His Heart, His Words. I just want to get on here and share with you my journey into the prophetic and how I learned to hear the voice of the Lord. So for those who may not know me, my name is Tiffany and I'm called Tiff Tiff by many. In 2021, I started a blog called His Heart, His Words. I will get up there and share the prophetic word of the Lord. He would show me visions. I would share my visions up there, dreams. He also gave me word of coronavirus in 2019 that it was going to hit the U.S. Some other many things that I've shared on there. So in 2021, I felt led to start a YouTube channel. I no longer have the blog. I felt led to share the things that He has given me on YouTube. And so this is an encouraging channel. The Lord deals with me with through open visions, dreams, impressions, and also, of course, like I said, hearing His word. And so on this channel, that's what you would get. You would get encouragement. And my prayer is that whoever encounters or come across my channel, that you will be blessed by the things that He has to share with me. And so this is my journey into the prophetic. So I grew up in church. My mom played the piano. My aunt was a choir director. My grandma was a Sunday school teacher, and my grandfather was a part of the men's chorus. And so I grew up in church. So about age 3, my mom said that I would know things that I shouldn't have known. I would know what was about to happen. I also could tell what was going on with her. And so I would see demons and have dreams. And so as I'm growing, of course, the demon part I did not like. I would always like to keep my light out because I felt like if my light was out, they couldn't see me. But not knowing back then that they hide in darkness. So that was probably really the reasons why I would see them more. But at the age of I'll say 7, 8, 9, and that age 10, I started to be a heavy feeler. I could feel people's emotions, what they were dealing with, and most of the time it would be the trauma part of people that they would deal with. Not even knowing, you could be smiling and I could just look right at you and see all your pain, and I would begin to cry, and I would take those emotions home with me, not knowing what to do with it. Came from a family of gifts, but back then no one knew how to steward them. So I had to deal with these things that and not only other people's issues, but my own issues as a child, not knowing how to filter through all of that. So you can imagine that could be a lot for someone, a child especially. So moving forward now, I'm about 10, 11. I learned how to suppress those gifts or suppress those things that was going on with me, because it was just way too much for me. Moving forward again, now I'm about 16, 17. I give my life to Christ, but didn't really live like it. So, but the visions returned. And so one day, my sister and I, we went to this gospel concert, and the concert went way over until like midnight, after midnight. So it was about midnight and we're still in the concert, but I go into this vision. And so I see my sister and myself driving down the street. It's nobody else on the road but us in the car. And another car pulls up alongside of us while we're at the stoplight. And it's a group of dudes who start to like argue with us, and they were yelling words at us. And so I came out the vision. And I told my sister, I told her what happened with the vision I just had. So I think we ended up leaving a little bit earlier, because when we left, it was still going on. So I believe I prayed while I was sitting in my seat at the gospel concert. And so we get in the car, we get on down the road, and no one's outside. Like the streets are really bare. So we get to the stoplight. just us. And here come this car, pulls up beside us, just like I saw in the vision, a group of dudes, and they started yelling at us. And so we began to pray. We both looked at each other like, this is what, like, this is what you saw. And so exactly how the vision was, that's exactly what happened. We began to pray. They started to follow us, and then they sped off. We ended up going to our house. And so from there, fast forward, I was still having visions here and there. But so now fast forwarding, now I'm in my, I'll say my 20s. Maybe mid 20s. A lot in my life has happened since then. Went through a whole lot of stuff. Was tired of the cycles in my life, and going through the same old. And this is now, I'm saying 2009, the end, December 31st, 2009. I was sick of some of the patterns in my life, some of the things that I was going through. And so I had cried out to the Lord. I said, Lord, the new year, I just want you. I want a fresh start. I don't want to keep repeating this stuff. I wasn't happy, didn't have any peace. It was just a whole lot going on. And I didn't want that anymore. I wanted real peace. I wanted God. I wanted to find him. And I knew him, but I didn't find him, and not to say that he wasn't there. I wasn't there. He was always there. But life, when you allow life to get to you, you can get off course. And so I was just sick of that. I wanted to get back on course. So I told my husband I wanted to go to, my sister was going to a church. It was an hour away. And so I wanted to go to that service because I felt like what I needed was at that service. And so we went, we got there, great service. And I'm receiving and taking it all in. And they had a group of dancers come up, and they danced to the song Moving Forward by Israel Houghton. And I began to cry uncontrollably, and I felt the Spirit of God. And it got to the point where I was crying so hard I couldn't even sit in my seat. I was on my knees crying out to God and repenting. And I felt him doing a work in me. And the song was saying, I'm not going back. I'm moving ahead. I'm here to declare to you your past is over. In you, all things are made new. And they're just talking about I'm moving forward. And that song ministered to my spirit. And when I left that church, I knew that I was different. And from that day forward, it was a new Tiffany. And I made it my point to seek after him with all that I had. And so I had a walk-in closet, and I made this walk-in closet my sanctuary, my altar. I went in that closet, and I had 4 kids, and I was married, so I couldn't, I had a set time that I can be in my closet. And so my time was like really towards the evening when the house was settling down and it was kind of quiet. I would take my pillow, my blanket, and I would go in there, and I didn't want nothing from him. I just wanted his presence. That's all I wanted. And every day I would go in there, couldn't wait. I was like a kid in the candy store, like, oh, can't wait to get home, can't wait to get in that closet. And I would do that, and I would go in and just cry out to God, talk to him. I wouldn't not even cry out in a way of, oh, Father, I need this. And I didn't want nothing. I just wanted his presence. And so just crying, worshiping, and just how much I love him, I adore him, I reverence him, stuff like that. Would get in my word, my Bible will be soaked with tears. And I would fall asleep sometimes in that closet. Just me and the Lord. And so this was going on for like 3 weeks. Just me and him. Maybe that, I say that following, maybe the 4th week, I started to hear his voice. And he began to share things with me. I would go get my pen. I would feel led to go get my pen and paper and keep it in the closet. So when I go in there, whatever I hear, I just write it down. And it started out with simple things. It's not simple, but small things. He would share things with me about me. He would begin to share things with me about other people, little small messages here and there to share with people. Even in the store was one day I was in my closet, and I told him, I said, Father, I don't want to, usually when most of the time we go to the store, we tunnel vision. We just trying to get in and get out. Don't talk to me type of vibe. And that's what I used to have. But with me spending time with him, my prayer was, Lord Father, even when I go to the store, whenever I'm out and about, let me be sensitive to the people needs, not just do that same old, it's about me, hurry up, get out of here, don't see me, don't talk to me. And so I did, and it was like that day, it's like I was put to the test. And usually when I go to the store, never seen anybody outside the store, but this time this lady was sitting on a bench outside the store, and she was crying. And she looked like she was in a fight. And I walked up, and I was like, "Oh, Father, is this the opportunity right here?" Because I'm not gonna run on any situation. I have to be spirit led, and so I felt that was my opportunity that He was giving me to kind of put me to the test of my prayer. And so she told me what was going on with her. I asked her, can I pray for her? And she said, of course. I prayed for her. And I asked her, did she need anything? She said, no, she didn't need anything, but she was just waiting on her ride, and that my prayers was exactly what she needed. And so after that, I walked into the store and came back out. Couldn't wait to get back home, get in that closet again. So as time went on, this was what was going on. It was like words that He would release to me, and then I would see visions, and I would see stuff for the family, for different people. So time goes on, fast forwarding again. Life happens again, so it kind of put me in a place of a halt, of a standstill. So some things happen, and through the whole leading of the Holy Spirit, which I thought at the time was something that was bad for me, it really wasn't. He was doing something through me in that situation, which landed me to now we're in 2015. So back track. So 2014, we had moved away to another state, and that's when I found another church in another state, in this different state. And so I started, getting back to where I was again, and because I was let down through us moving away, but didn't know the whole time He was working this thing out and was doing something in me through my family. And so moved back from the area we had moved to, stayed with my mom until we found the place. I left the place and said, Father, I want to, everything I do, I want it to be spirit led. Like when we look for a place, it has to be you in it. Where you want us to go? What, all of that. So I asked Him, I said, Father, since we were just moving back to our home state, not with our home state, but from where we lived at before, we moved back, had to stay with my mom to get back on our feet so we can move into our own place. And so we were my husband was kind of doing stuff on his own, okay, we're gonna go to this place, put an application, doing it, and nothing was working out. So I was like, we got to put God in the mix. And so I said, Father, we need you to direct us, show us where to go, where to put in applications at. And so I went to bed, had a dream. He showed me the place. He showed me I was going to be living beside my sister. And so I woke up, told my husband, I said, I know where to go. He showed me, let's go to this place. We put in an application. They called us back like a day or so later and was like, you're approved. And we went to the place. They gave us our address, but it wasn't near my sister. So I said, oh, wow. I said, maybe I kind of read the dream differently than what it was, or took it the dream. Maybe it was just we was moving in her area, but not beside her. So they gave us our address, but it wasn't ready yet, so we had to move in with her. So then a couple of days later, again, they called us back and said, hey, this place, the address we gave you to this place, it won't be ready yet. So we're going to have to move you to another location. Gave us the address. It was right beside my sister. And so that was another dream. That was my next step. Now this step right here, we moved in, had another walk-in closet, had to put a sign on the door because everybody was just like, where's mom? Where's mom? And I had to put a sign on my closet door at a certain time. Do not come in, do not disturb. Because I was spending time with the Lord. Now this time, this was my training ground. Now this time He was dealing with me, about me, and was cleaning me up from some things that I was dealing with. And so it would be times where I would have issues with my family or different people, and I would go to the Lord. I'm like, Father, like, I don't understand this person, like this person, this and that. And you know what? He never showed me that person. He always showed me. What are you doing? How can you change the situation? And through that, He started allowing me to see people the way that He saw people, to see their heart, not their flaws. And I started growing in that area. Then he started teaching me about what I look at. He said, you have to watch your ear gates, your eye gates. You got to watch what come out of your mouth. You got to, he was teaching me, Holy Spirit was teaching me and training me in so many areas. So I stopped because I used to watch whatever I wanted to watch. He told me I couldn't do that. And so I had to stop looking at things that I listen. You want me to stop doing this? I'm going to stop. So I started being mindful of the things that I watch on TV. I started being mindful of what I listen to, because we don't always feel the impact of what we watch. That we can't feel what's going in. Just like with the word, we can't always feel sometimes when we're reading the word, the impact is doing. Same with what we watch. If we're watching stuff with violence and all this foul language, that stuff enters and we don't even realize it. So I had to stop that. Stop watching these type of shows. I had to stop. It was a total transformation in my life. Then I started hearing him more. Then it got to a place where now I'm not like giving these little messages no more that I was getting back in 2010. This is now I'm giving like whole words to people. It's impact into what I'm saying. It was impacting what I was saying then, because even with the small messages, I would give these words and people will be like, oh my gosh, yes, you know. So now this was training in so many areas of my life. He was dealing with my heart. He was dealing with my mind. He was telling me or showing me that when it comes to hearing him, reasoning have to go out the door. Logic, stuff that makes sense to the natural mind, that has to go out the door, or I won't receive it. I won't be able to get it. I had to take on his mind, and that's exactly what I did. He would start showing me when we moved from there. He would let me know our next move to make. He would let me know, okay, you're about to move from this place. You're about to move on, and I'm going to show you and lead you to where you're going to be. And that's exactly what happened. It was like he was leading me, and we walked right into our next place. And through there, the visions, the dreams, all of that intensified. And so this was 2017. I was sitting on my bed, and I could feel that something was going on in the heavenlies. And I felt a shaking. It's like my whole bed really shook. And I began to weep. And because I could tell something was getting ready to happen. Didn't know what but he said and I heard a great shaking is going to happen. Didn't know what that great shaking was. I cried. I prayed about it. Didn't know. And I prayed for covering and whatever else that I felt led at that time to pray for. Time went on. It was another time I had a vision where I saw these, it looked like grasshoppers that was piled on top of each other. Like there was a lot of them. And they were just at a standstill. They were moving, but they weren't hopping everywhere or flying, whatever they do. It wasn't grasshoppers. I thought they were, but they were actually locusts. And so they was like in one place, and I felt that they were in that one place until it was time to like that's where they had to be for that time, because they was getting ready to be released. And so I felt that if they were locusts, and I felt that the locusts represented the famine that was going to come. And so then I had the vision of 2019. I felt that or heard this is a time of preparation. So didn't know what we were preparing for. So I'm thinking we're preparing for, about the ministry. I'm preparing for ministry. God, great, do something with me. So now we're in 2020, and I'm looking out my window. I'm in my room reading my word. I just happened to look out my window, I looked out my window. This is 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's daylight as I'm looking outside. But in the spirit realm, it turned dark outside. And so I saw that, and then it turned light again, the original daylight. And then I heard, dark days are coming. And that's when he told me that the coronavirus was going to hit the U.S. and it was going to do some damage, and a lot of people were going to lose their lives because of it. And I saw a bunch of tombstones, and he shared with me that we were going to be confined to our homes and to not be afraid, because he doesn't give us things to cause us to be fearful, but to prepare us. And that was the preparation. And there were some other things he shared with me, so many things that he have shared with me throughout the years that if I would share all of that now, it would, I don't know, I'll be on here forever. And also he has, I ended up sharing that with my leader, and he released me to share it with our church. And I say about 2 weeks later, what the Holy Spirit said had happened. But that's the type of things that has been happening in my life, and from childhood on up to now. I even learned how to, because I still have moments where I can pick up on people's emotions and stuff and their feelings, but I learned now how to give it to the Lord. I learned how to take that off of me, because I would carry it, but now I know how to release it, give it to him, and move on and let him do the work, and not me try to hold on. I can't hold on to it. I can't fix it. And so so now I'm at a place of still growing and learning in the prophetic. And one of my passions, one of the things that I feel that I'm called to do, is that I feel like I'm called to the church to help churches, to help leadership, to go in and see what's going on in our churches, in our leadership, and to hear from the Lord for strategies and things that can help leadership and help our church, because he's married to the church, and I'm so humbled that he would choose someone like me to share his heart and his words with. So I'm so grateful for that. And so that's my passion. That's my heart's desire to want to do. He even gives me words for the church. And even concerning some of our leaders, our pastors, how we have to keep our pastors lifted up, our leaders lifted up, because the enemy is after us all, but I really believe he's after the leaders. He's after the head, not even just the head of the church, but the head of the household, the man, the men. There's even some things he showed me with that I will be releasing at a later time. And so that's my story, how I became to hear the voice of the Lord, my journey. And so in a later time, I will be sharing more of what the Lord has shared with me that may have already happened, and some things that are to come. And so I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope it wasn't too long. Forgive me for my ums and all of that stuff. And I love you. Just did it again. But I love you, and I pray that you'll watch again and subscribe, hit the bell notification, all of that stuff. If you like the video, if you want to be notified, if you want to know what's going on, because I will be sharing a little bit of everything up here, everything encouraging. My life, my story. I have a lot to share on this channel. And so I just want to thank you for tuning in, and until next time, God bless you.